So let's say you want to run a project of yours on your local machine. What are some of the steps that you would think you will need to do in order to do so? So first, let's say you will need to clone it in your local machine. Let's say you will do it from GitHub. Next, you will need to install the language that you will need in order to run this project or run this application. So let's say if it is PHP, then if it is let's say it is based upon JavaScript, you will need npm and node. And after all this, you will also need to install local packages in your project in order to run it successfully on your local machine. But what if I tell you there is a way to do all these in the cloud? You will not need to install anything on your machine, and that's where GitHub Codespaces come into play. And this is what I'm going to talk about in this video. I'm going to talk about everything about GitHub Codespaces. So let's jump in. So what are GitHub Codespaces? So GitHub Codespaces are you can say a development environment which is based in hosted in the cloud. And basically a Codespace is a virtual machine hosted by GitHub. Okay, so you will be given a virtual machine of a certain configuration, and you will get this machine to run your project upon. So there are a lot of various kind of machine that are available to us. So this is one of the configuration of the CPU, that is 2-core processor, 4 GB RAM, and 32 GB of internal storage. So this is one of the configuration. I will talk about everything. So let me go back to the GitHub homepage, and let's start with the Codespace. So if you can see, we get this Codespace link over here, and once you open it, yeah, we will be presented with this UI, and as you can see, there are a bunch of things over here. So we can create new Codespace from here, or we can use this existing template that is provided by GitHub. So if you want to create a React project, we can use this template, React template. Or if you want to create a Next.js project, you will be able to use this template. Or you will want a Python project, you can use this Django template or Flask template as well. So these are the existing template that you can use, but I'm going to start with one of my existing project. So I will use this new Codespace, and once that is presented, you will be able to see there are a bunch of options that we need to choose. So first is repository, and from this I will choose one of my projects called Notepad. Okay, so I will choose this, and we can choose the branch that we want on this configuration. So I will choose masters and region. So what is region? So when you select one of these region, the Codespace will be will run from that particular region. So I will select Southeast Asia because I am based in India. And the machine type that we want, over here we can use 2-core, 4-core, 8-core, and 16-core. And the 2-core is the lowest powered CPU, you can say, but this is all we need for this particular application. So I will choose 2-core, but you can go ahead and choose anything from these options. So I have selected everything, and now I can create this Codespace. Okay, so it is creating the Codespace for the project that I have selected, that is Notepad. And this particular project is pretty simple. It is basically a JavaScript project, you can say, but I'm not using anything complicated over here. It is just a simple basic JS files and HTML and stuff. So over here, if you can see, it has opened a web instance of VS Code. It will take a little bit to set up everything for you. So let's wait for it some time. So all the files has been loaded, as you can see. Okay, so these are all the JS files of this project. Okay, these are images. So basically a VS Code instance, and it has loaded the entire project in this. Now if you can see, we are also given this terminal. Now since this entire thing is a virtual machine, you will be able to do anything on this machine. You will be able to install packages, you will be able to install languages, everything. But let me first show you what OS this virtual machine is running. So we can use this command called cat etc os release, and when we run it, we get the OS on which this virtual machine is been running. So it is running Ubuntu 20.04, and this is the machine that this virtual machine is running. Now one of the cool thing about this GitHub Codespaces is it is coming pre-installed with many things. So it is coming with Node pre-installed. So if you can see, when I run Node V version, so it has given me the current version that is been installed on this virtual machine. Then npm as well, it is even come pre-installed with PHP as well. So you will see it is installed with PHP 8.1 pre-install. Okay, it is also comes with Composer as well. So Composer V, so Composer is also come pre-installed with this. It is also come pre-installed Python as well. So Python is also comes pre-installed. So basically anything you can imagine, it is there in this GitHub Codespace. So you will not need anything extra in order to run anything. Okay, now coming back to this project, so we'll clear this terminal. Okay, now this is a simple JS project, but I will need a local server in order to run this. So on my local machine I use HTTP stir. This is a simple npm package which basically spin up a local instance. So I will just install that package over here, and npm install. I will use the global one. I will use install it globally and use http stir. Then this will install this particular package globally. Okay, it is installed. Now I can use http stir in this notepad project, and it will basically instantiate a local port or local instance on this particular port, and I can now open this instance in the browser. So it will, so we are being given this URL. Okay, so it is instantiating the project, and that's it. It has run this project onto our into this virtual machine, and it has been up and running on this particular URL. Now to prove my point that it is been running from this code, I will just make some changes into this. So let's say I will change the heading. Okay, and let's say I run it. You'll be able to see the changes are reflected instantaneously. Okay, and you will also be able to see that it is also tracking the git changes. So if I go here, it shows me that this file has been changed. And what is the benefit of this? You will be able to push anything, push any changes from this particular interface itself. So we will not need anything. You can also push changes from this interface itself, and this is how easy it is. Okay, now if I go back to Codespace and refresh this, so you will see we have got one you can say code space, that is this one, and it is given a random name. This is, I'm not sure what is this, what is pronounced as Zenny Pancake, but this is a random name that been provided to it while creating this code space, but you can rename it to whatever you want to from here. You will you will also be able to see the machine that we have been using on this particular virtual machine. So this is one thing that you can see from over here. And next you will be able to open this project in your Visual Studio Code as well if you don't want to use it on the web. So this is from where you can open your code space in your VS Code, local VS Code instance. Now let me show you one more thing, or one more project so which is based upon React. So let me open that, React to do. So this is one of the project that I have created while I was running Redux. So I will use the same configuration for this as well, and I will spin it up. So it will create another code space for this particular project. Yeah, let's wait for some time. So it is setting up the code space for us, and it is React to do app which uses Redux under the hood. Okay, let us give it a time, and meanwhile I will show you it has also created the second code space for this project called Potential Engine. So this is a random name that it has given to it. Okay, so the project is loaded now. It will load the terminal as well, so let's wait for it. Yeah, okay, so I think something went wrong. Let's reload it once again. But in my opinion, GitHub Codespaces is really a game changer, because you would not need to do anything on your local machine, and without doing anything on your local machine you will be able to run your projects in the cloud, and that is fantastic in my opinion. Okay, so it has loaded this project. Now this is based upon a React starter template, and you can see we have got this package.json, and we first need to install the npm packages, and for this we can use npm install. So like I said, you will be able to do anything that you could do on your local machine, so we can install npm packages as well. So I will first install all the required packages for this particular project. Okay, so it has installed everything. Now I will start this project. So npm start, and this will basically start an instance of this project in another tab on this particular URL. Okay, so this is the app, simple to do app which I was working on when I was learning about React Redux, and just like that we are up and running in like you can say 2 or 3 minutes. What would you do if you had to install it on your machine? Of course you will need to go through all the hassle of installing the packages and stuff, but with GitHub Codespaces you are basically up and running in like 2 or 3 minutes. Yeah, it's as simple as that. Now this is these are the existing project that we have used, but you can also use these existing templates as well. So for instance, you can use spin up a React project with this React template as well. And that's about it. This is all about GitHub Codespaces. Now, one thing that you need to keep in mind is GitHub Codespaces is free, but you will only get 60 hours of monthly usage for free use of Codespaces. So if you are going beyond 60 hours of usage, you will need to pay GitHub for anything extra that you would need. But I think for any personal project that you have been working on, 60 hours per month of usage is more than sufficient, and in my opinion it is pretty generous, you can say, to just work on your local or your personal projects. So I think GitHub Codespaces are fantastic, and I think it is game changer as far as your local development is concerned. So make sure you break out of these local projects. So I have spin up this project and I don't want to run it for forever, so I will just break out from this, Control C, and we don't want it to run for forever because that will add up to the free quota of GitHub Codespaces. Similarly for these as well, I will just break out from this project, so we are not overutilizing the free quota. So that's about it. This is all about Codespaces. I hope you like this video, and if you do, consider subscribing, and I will see you in the next one.